It's important to look your best. We're back to another edition. The only show I could do today. Because yesterday, no, today was a picnic and a doctor's appointment. So I couldn't do my 11 o'clock. But I'm here. I'm here at least once a day. So we have one person joining us. Welcome. We have flute and fart noises. That's what we start the show off with. Good day. Welcome to the party. I have more jokes that I came up with. I'm trying to share some of the jokes that I heard that you all have told me about the I've fallen and I can't giddy up and the steamed veggie joke. Like I say, leave your joke in the comments. That way you'll get credit for it. In the comments you can put your joke, and then what I've noticed is you can click on the comment. It'll take you click on someone's comment. It'll take you to their channel, so that way you'll get traffic to your channel. And so that's all right. Like I always say, thank you. I guess I'll start earlier. Right now it's like 3 o'clock. I could start like 2 o'clock or something like that. Because I know you usually head off to work around 4 o'clock. It's probably earlier in Nevada. There's like a 4-hour difference. So it's probably around 12 o'clock there. So right now if it's 3 o'clock, no, if it's, 3 o'clock here, 3, 2, 1, and then 12, if my math is right. But you can always catch the show after it's been finished, after it's finished and put in the archive. You can go back and binge watch or just watch this episode. So we'll see who else shows up. That's what I'll do. I could start earlier. If we time it just right. And if you're joining us, just say hello. I saw our squirrel come back. I think it's the same squirrel. It's a squirrel that definitely likes the bird feeder or the bird seeds, the seeds that come down from the bird feeder. I caught the squirrel eating some bird seeds, so maybe, and I put some more peanuts back there. We have a tree that was cut down, and I'm using that as a platform to put water and food on. So maybe I can make friends with that squirrel. Squirrels and crows are pretty good friends to have. I've heard a lot of stories about squirrels and crows. Or crows. Crows are very intelligent. They're like they have the equivalent of a 7-year-old kid. They have face recognition. Today's a bit cooler today. We have an overcast. Yeah, I like to see them. So what I could do, if it'll help, I'll start like an hour earlier. Instead of 4 o'clock, I can start 3 o'clock. Or maybe 3 or 2:30 maybe, I don't know. That way we could catch each other just before work. We can cheer each other up. I see 2 people, which means there's probably 3. So we've got, it'd be nice if we check in with each other. Do like a welfare check. Or a knock and talk, as we used to call it. when you knock on the door and talk to the resident, see how they're doing. That's how I found my first dead resident. I found one lady. We noticed she would walk from her apartment to the mailbox, and then we'd stop seeing her. We stopped seeing her walk from her apartment to the mailbox. So we did a knock and talk. We walked up and we went into the apartment because nobody answered, and found her in her bedroom. That was the first. That was my first. There's an airplane. Yeah. Maybe you've seen a dead body. I don't know. The first time you've ever seen a dead body. I hope no one ever has to see a dead body. They were both residents. The first two dead bodies I've ever seen were residents. And it was disturbing. You never get used to it. Or you kind of get used to it because it's not as scary the second time, but it's still scary when you see somebody lying on the floor. I've heard a lot of stories about those apartment complexes, or wherever you are a landlord, there's a potential that you'll find someone who is deceased. So it's amazing how my memory works. Some things just jog my memory or bring back thoughts or experiences, shootings and the like. We have another train going by. So we have two people. It looks like we got two viewers. Maybe we can do the time warp. Maybe when I get to 4 viewers, we'll do the time warp. It's just a jump to the left and then a step in the right. Put your hands on your hips. And it's the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. We can always do the time warp again. If we reach our mark, we'll have to set the mark higher each time. So when we reach, if we reach 4 this time, then we can go up to maybe 6. You were 15 in 1989. I remember 1989. That was back when Guns N' Roses came out with Welcome to the Jungle, 1989, 1987, somewhere around there. That's when I went to Sacramento from Portola. It was back in 87. Then I think 89. 89 was when I started to get settled in to Sacramento. I lived on Y Street, 34th and Y Street. That house still stands, the one that I lived in. It wasn't too far from Broadway. There was a Tower Theater on Broadway. I saw the movie Swimming Pool in that movie, or in that theater, Tower Theater, back when Tower Records was popular. And then Tower Records gave way to Dimple Records. Dimple Records is really fun. They bought and sold records, DVDs, CDs. You could just bring in all your old DVDs and CDs, and they would buy them from you, and then they'd sell them at a markup. So it was pretty fun. I got quite a collection from there, from Dimple Records. Yeah, before that it was Tower Records. Tower Records was pretty popular. A lot of rock stars shopped there. I think the first store ever on Tower was on, it was in Sacramento, the very first Tower bookstore. And then Virgin Records. I remember Virgin Records. It was in the mall. They had a big store in the mall called Virgin Records. You can go there to buy CDs, etc. Well, thank you for joining in and listening to me ramble on about what used to be. I brought my other thing to show and tell. I was playing with this at the park when my mom and I were having a picnic. When we we had the sandwiches and the pie and all that. And it is a kung fu weapon, my snake whip, or chain whip. It's got a tassel. Like most Shaolin kung fu weapons, they have these tassels. Then it has a leather style handle. It has a swivel, so you can swing the whip chain very fast. Reminds me of those Chopsucky movies that I used to watch. Those are pretty cool. All those Shaolin Kung Fu masters fighting. Oh, you left a like. Thank you for that. Mahalo. Spasiba. I think that's how they say it in Russian. Spasiba. Spasiba большое. Gracias. Gracias para like. Uno like. We'll count up. We can do the time warp after we get up to 10 likes. We'll see how many people leave a like. I like doing the time warp. You can stand up and do the time warp. That was brought on by the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I used to always hear it on the radio. Dr. Demento played it. Sometimes on the radio I'd hear the time warp song. And then I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show and I go, that's where that came from. That's what the time warp is. It's a dance. It's just a jump to the left. It's kind of like life. It's a jump to the left and then a step in the right. Put your hands on your hips. And it's the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. The good thing about the time warp is you can always do it again. I made myself laugh. That's what we could do, is have a contest. I was thinking about on this show or on this live stream, have a contest called Make Ed Laugh. You can tell a joke, and if I laugh, you'll get bragging rights. I'll be able to tell during the live stream. I could tell who laughed or who made me laugh. So that way you get bragging rights because you made me laugh. And then later on, if I could start gathering funds together, I could start sending out prizes. I could send out prizes to people who make me laugh. So let me know in the comments if I start earlier, because I know right now it's around 3 or 4 o'clock. If I started at 2 o'clock, would I be able to meet up with you at 2 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock? That way you have a good hour before you head off to work, or before you go to... I remember my friend told me a joke. Why do women scratch their eyes? Well, let's see. We're about to find out. Why do women scratch their eyes? We can wait for the punch line. Da da da. Because they have no balls to scratch. That's right. That's why women scratch their eyes, because they have no balls to scratch. Reminds me of that. What was it? It was when a wise man doesn't have a beard, what does he stroke? If a wise man has no beard, then what does he stroke? I love those jokes. You know, jokes are always good to break up the monotony. If you're doing homework or if you're getting a shot or getting your blood drawn, you can always remember a joke that you're fond of. Try to remember a joke that I always go to. Thank you. I could always use some more luck. I think that's what we'll talk about tomorrow, is luck. What do you consider luck? There's some stories about people who, one guy, $2 million he got because a meteor came through his roof, and the meteor was made of materials that were worth $2 million. $2 million. And as always, thank you for. Oh, we got 3 people. How about that? The word is getting out, I guess. So, like I say, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Say hi. Tell me where you're from. I'm getting some viewers from Australia, some viewers from the UK, some viewers from Canada. My 6% of my audience is from the UK and Canada, and a few people from Australia. So, like I say, I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out to all these countries, and that way we can pick a time and a time. A time everybody can be on here, not at a late hour, not in an early hour, but just the right hour, so we can have fun. We could do a segment called "Make Me Laugh." We could do embarrassing moments, or when did you get even with a bully? How did you get even with a bully? I always like those stories, how people get even with bullies. Bullies have nothing better to do with their lives than bully. How did you, what's your story? How did you have your bigger sister beat up your bully? Did you, did you pull a prank on your bully? I think bullies are worldwide. Everyone's had to deal with a bully, or everyone has avoided bullies. I think what I'd like to do is bring awareness to bullying. Hey, thank you for the hey, USA Child Forever. I'm going to mention your handle, because people who watch this, they will be able to be aware of your handle. My handle is @EdsHeart. So your handle, yeah. You look like a new one. You haven't been with us. We'll try to become familiar. We'll become familiar with each other. I will acknowledge your handle, and that way people will know of you. A lot of times it's hard to be heard or seen on YouTube unless somebody tells somebody. Like when I talk about slapped ham, or when I talk about Azura Dragon Feather. You finally beat his butt. Did you learn any martial arts? A lot of people learn martial arts and then they beat up their bully. But how did you do it in a clever way? Sometimes I like how it's done cleverly. You can always like play a prank on them, or oh yes, that's what it takes. You have it up to here, you know. That's what it takes. Some people have to be pushed, and if they're pushed enough, they just go off. Like that Christmas Story. You ever watch Christmas Story? Where that guy was bullying him and he just lost it and started kicking the crap out of his bully. Those are good. Those are satisfying stories. When you just beat the crap. Yeah. That's great when you overcome your bully. There was a girl I heard of that, she's a YouTuber. She, she had her brothers teach her how to punch, and this bully was messing with her on the playground, and she punched him in the nose, and she got in trouble. They need to change those rules. If you punch your bully in the nose, you should get an award. You should get, like movie tickets or something. You should get uh, a certificate to Baskin Robbins or Cold Stone Creamery or something, because you got up the courage to beat your bully. If you royally kick the crap out of your bully, you should get a, a gift certificate to Baskin Robbins And you should get a pat on the back, a high five. Yeah. You want to keep that a secret. You don't want to humiliate somebody kick the crap out of. Well, this is good. This is what Let's Be Friends is all about. It's about us chatting, telling our stories. The good, the bad, the ugly. That's right. Give me a hell yeah. Who's that? Stone Cold Steve Austin? Yup. Yeah and yup. That's what you say when you're drinking your hot cocoa. You say yup. Take another drink of hot cocoa and say yup. Yeah, buddy. I play with my chain whip, my kung fu style chain whip. I enjoy. I like how they put a pink ribbon on here. It's like that's really tough to have your pink ribbon for your distraction. They always have like that on those hook swords. Oh, you tried to teach yourself how to drive? Did you do it on private property? Some people like it. They live on a couple acres of land, and they get in a truck, and that's how they learn how to drive. The stick shifts. I don't see many stick shifts anymore. The last few cars I've owned were they were not stick shifts. They were automatic transmissions. Because sometimes you mistake the brake for the clutch, or you mistake the clutch for the brake. That's what I did one time. So I was going to be a delivery driver, and then I was going toward a garage door. There was a client, one of our customers, had a garage door, and I started rolling towards the garage door, and I stepped on the clutch. I kept stepping on the clutch, and I just rolled right through the garage door. That was one of my more humiliating stories. So that's how I stopped becoming a delivery driver. I was taken off of the delivery driver list, and I was put to work in the warehouse. Yes, there's good things and bad things about the airbags. The airbags, they call it, they consider the car totaled if the airbags go off. So yeah, you only get to use airbags one time. From what I hear, I don't know. I guess I think that's a fact. If your airbags go off, then they just total out the car. And also, what sucks is the insurance company only gives you what the car is worth. You know, like if you have your car for a few years, it depreciates. So it's like you paid $30,000 for a car, or you probably only get half of that. And also the wear and tear. That's okay. Thank you for stopping by. It's always good to have somebody to chat with during this. That's all right. I'll have to find a better time, or we can mark on a calendar somewhere. I can have like on my community page. Maybe you can in the comments on my community page. People can put in the comments when is a good time to have a show. That way we can stay and chat and hang out for a while. Yeah, when you go to a channel, you can. It says community. It says shorts, videos. So you just click on the community icon, and you can leave a comment there, and I can look at that. Say, hey, yo, Ed, let's get together at 2 o'clock. Let's get together at 3 o'clock or something like that. That we all know when to start, and we'll see if we can meet in the middle somehow. We got a lot of airplanes flying over. Music is my aeroplane. Music is my aeroplane. Is my aeroplane. Gotta kind of wait for him to go by. Airplanes are loud, even though they are way up there in the air. They still can drown out a conversation. Trains also. We get trains here. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Somebody left 2 likes. Or so we have 2 likes so far. I never forget my fart noises. There we go. Fart noises. Show and tell. Who could ask for anything more? I'm an amateur flute player. When I get better, maybe I can put a hat out. And when people walk by, they can put money in my hat. That's what I do for thrills. For thrills. That's how I catch my thrills. My jollies, my thrills, kicks, and jollies. I'm watching my gradual hair loss. My sure. I'll have to start wearing hats. I'll have to start joining a hair club so that I don't, because I noticed that, see, as you can see here, there's more skin. There's more skin here. I don't know why. It's not my genetics. My dad didn't lose all of his hair. I hear genetics will skip a generation. Genetics will pop in and out of a certain bloodline. But I shouldn't let it hold me down. Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't have any hair. Dr. Evil didn't have any hair. Mr. Clean didn't have any hair. The guy on Pawn Stars didn't have any hair. I shouldn't let it get me down if I start getting that, if my forehead keeps growing, if I get more forehead and less hair, I need to just get one of those skull shavers. One of my principals, he had I think it was a T-shirt or a plaque that said, "God made only a few perfect heads, the rest he covered with hair." So that's something. That's something. God only made a few perfect heads, the rest he covered with hair. So if you have a perfect head, you can just go bald. It doesn't matter. I'm distracted by my chain whip, my Shaolin chain whip that has this cool end here, solid steel. And when you turn it, it's flashy. It's like a flashy end, and it's got a pink ribbon, and it's got more chain, and the chain gets larger as it gets closer to the handle. It's a good workout. I was using this at the park a few hours ago, and you can really feel your muscles developing when you swing your chain whip. Your chain whip. Sometimes you have to pull out your chain whip. Do a little exercise. Exercise with your chain whip. It has this Buddha hand. It's like, has the Buddha holding the lotus. Then it has this character. Let me know in the comments if this is probably Chinese. and it's a character of some kind. Probably. It doesn't look like Sanskrit. That's not Sanskrit. But anyways, it's got a pretty little flower, the Buddha hand. And there we go. That's show and tell, folks. So yes, tell your friends about me. Tell all your friends about my fart jokes. Fart jokes and playing my flute tracks. Laying down some flute tracks. What could be funnier than flute tracks and fart jokes? I don't know. Watching somebody slip on a banana peel? That used to be hilarious. Somebody slipping on a banana peel. Then there was, yeah, I remember that. The rubber chicken, the banana peel, and good old fart noises. Good old-fashioned fart sounds. Leslie Nielsen had a fart machine. Leslie Nielsen, when he would do interviews, he would have his fart machine. And it would show the perfect time for a comedic fart noise. Also on the set of Harry Potter, I think the guy who played Dumbledore, he had a fart noise. Or was it Alan Rickman who did fart noises? I'll have to do another... we have someone joining us. You hear that? That's a squirrel. A squirrel getting pissed off. That usually happens when a cat trees a squirrel. They'll hear the squirrel do that chirping noise. You can probably hear it. I always like to chase cats away when they tree a squirrel. Cats kill squirrels. Cats can be mean. They can be very mean. Squirrels are almost as big as cats. Squirrels, they can probably bite, but they can't really claw. So they don't have a very good defense, the squirrels. Porcupines, don't mess with porcupines. I keep saying that. I guess a porcupine traumatized me. I was traumatized by a porcupine because I saw what happens when dogs, any creature that attacks a porcupine gets covered in quills. And those quills, they're not easy to pull out. You have to grab them with pliers, I guess, and pull them out. If not, they will start working their way in to the poor victim. So yes, they can't shoot their quills, but they do thrust them. They'll thrust their tail towards their adversary. Kind of like the holy hand grenade of Antioch. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. You count no more, no less. You count to 3, no more, no less. And then you lobest thine holy hand grenade at thine adversary, blowing him into tiny bits. In thy mercy, we have one person. It looks like 1 to 2 people. Don't be shy, say hi. Galahad. I was here yesterday. You were? I've returned. Yes, you have, Galahad. Wasn't that one of the Knights of the Round Table? Sir Galahad? That's a very royal-sounding name. Sir Galahad. We have a Galahad. We have a X-Trigger. T. Harrison, X-Trigger. We're trying to remember them all. There's a few people that do come on. And we chat for a while. We try to keep upbeat. I like to call this a high energy. This is a high vibrational. You deserve many people in this chat. I do. You know what? I think what it is people are just starting to find out about me. I'm putting out a lot of those shorts that are telling of my shenanigans, and I'm pretty sure pretty soon I will have more, and then yes, I could start doing having guests. I know that I can have fellow YouTubers on as guests, which is kind of cool. When you do a live stream, you can have someone who is a YouTuber join you on your live stream. There's this guy Ballin. Um, he goes by the name Ballin, and he's a Navy SEAL. You got a thumbs up. I like that. You got two emojis. One has a thumbs up. One has a smiley face. I have to describe the emojis because I don't think people can see them. At least after the show is done, if it goes to the archive, or when I, yeah, put it in the archive, they can't see the chat, so I have to describe the chats. But they can see if you leave something in the comments. So what I like to do is I like to try to help other YouTubers get discovered. So if you leave your comment, they'll be able to click on your comment and go to your channel. So do that. Please leave a comment. And then that way people will see your comment. They'll be able to click on your channel by way of your comment. And that way we can discover one another. We won't have to be in a dark room anymore. They say bad advertising is like being in a dark room and winking at somebody. So we'll get good advertising. When I get happy, I play flute tracks. I lay down some badass flute tracks. Yeah, man. Groovy, baby. I'm going to play some snake charming, rat grabbing, snake charming music. I'm an amateur flute player. Maybe pretty soon I'll be a professional flute player. I can play not many songs. What I do is I just ad lib. I move whichever finger is going to make whatever noise. And sometimes I can come up with some pretty good. With the flute, that's right. I can't play many songs. I just play around because I'm learning where the finger placement is. And once I get the finger placements down, I can know which hole to uncover to make the sound I desire. And then I can I can be my own composer. That's what I'll do. I can compose my own music. I'll be like the Beethoven of the recorder. The Ludwig van Beethoven. The Johann Sebastian Bach. That's right, it's going to take some practice. It's going to take some concentrating. Practice makes perfect. You are correct. That's what they all say. If you get enough practice, then people will throw money. They'll come up and throw money into your hat. I'll bring out my top hat and I will lay it down on a handkerchief, a clean handkerchief, and people will run up and they will throw money into my hat. And that's how I will pay for my lunch. I will sing for my supper. I will play flute for my supper. Oh, that kind of sounds like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Wait a minute. Wah, wah, wah. I know that wouldn't that be nice if you could just. There was a show called Meteor Man. It was a black comedy, and the power that man got was whatever book he touched, he got all the knowledge from that book, and it was that would be kind of neat if you had that special power through osmosis. You know, you could just put a book under your pillow, and while you sleep, you could learn what's in the book. or just pick up a guitar and just start playing some badass riffs, playing some cool riffs, ones that just raise the roof, yeah, raise the roof. Who watches Tim and Eric? I remember Tim and Eric. I think I think they're still doing some stuff, but I used to watch Tim and Eric all the time on Adult Swim. I would watch the replays, because I couldn't stay up as late as, it's hard to stay up that late for Adult Swim and to actually stay awake for the whole thing. I wonder how many people take Speed and then watch Adult Swim, watch their Aqua Teen Hunger Force or Tim and Eric. And then I started to buy the box sets. I would binge watch the box sets. Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. That was some comedy. I always like their comedy. I saved some to my playlists, my YouTube playlist. And what other shows did I used to watch? I remember when Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a big deal. And now it's Walking Dead. I think Walking Dead has come to a close. A lot of people were into Walking Dead. A lot of that zombie slaying, a lot of brutality, people being bitten, and people being chewed up by zombies. I think zombies, I wonder what's going to take over next. I think vampires was a big deal back when what was that show that was Twilight? When Twilight was out, it was all about vampires, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then later on it was zombies. Now I think it's clowns. I think clowns is what scares people now. Clowns in nuclear war. Everyone's afraid of being bombed. That's been a thing for a long time. I remember back in the 60s, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis. Everyone was, right after the first bomb went off, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Osaka, all those hydrogen bombs went off after then. Ever since then, everybody's been afraid of a nuclear war, and we haven't had a nuclear war. I can't, because they know if we have a nuclear war, everyone's going to be screwed. I mean, they were talking about if one nuclear weapon were to be detonated in Gaza, it would screw it up for the whole world, because that shit gets airborne. We have nuclear winters, and it's like that'll be what destroys everything but the cockroaches. I think cockroaches are the only thing that's left after a good old-fashioned nuclear holocaust. I think what it is just about scaring people. Everything, the next thing is like COVID, AIDS. I remember back when I was a kid, it was AIDS. Oh, AIDS, AIDS. Now you hear nothing about AIDS. Now they're talking about medications that make it undetectable. It's like people do get AIDS, but they don't die from it anymore. It used to be, man, if you got AIDS, that was it. There was no cure. Way back in the 80s. So now, what's the next thing we're all going to be afraid of? Afraid of angry squirrels. I think that's what it is. So we're down to 0. 44 minutes into the show. So I guess what I'll do soon is start singing Tomorrow, the Little Orphan Annie song. That'll be my outro. I think I determined that yesterday. I'll start singing for the end of each live stream. I'll start singing the Little Orphan Annie song. That'll be when I end the show. But for now, I can play a few more fart noises and wait for somebody to come on board. And again, leave in the comments if you happen to watch this at any time. Leave in the comments when a good time. And I noticed Google will tell me what time it is in your time zone. Like right now, I could Google time in Australia or time in the UK. Canada seems to be in the same time zone I'm in. So if you're from Canada, you could just put the time you think would be the best time for me to have the show, and just let me know, and I'll be in the same longitude. But if you're across the pond, I think it's a 5-hour difference. If you are up north, you can relax. If you are in Australia, I think I forget what time difference that is. Oh, well, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. I do see the one up there. One usually means two for some reason. I've noticed there'll be more than one person watching, but it'll only show one. So hang tight, kids. We're in for a we're in for a smooth ride into the next few hours, I guess, or until my phone runs out of power. Sometimes the phone runs out of power, and I gotta cut the. Oh, I saw two up there. I'm getting excited. I'm starting to see more than just one. Usually there's only two to three people, but I had a total, because X Trigger did show up, and another guy called Galahad. I don't know if Galahad's still with me, but yeah. What I'll have to do is make a list. Or if you do, that'll be one of the things. That'll be the requirements. What you do is leave a comment when you come onto the show. Leave a comment. That way, your channel, your handle will be tallied. So that way, I'll know who showed up. Who showed up for the show, and so yeah, just leave when you come on. Just leave a comment. Say hi or whatever. Say I pooped today or whatever, and they used to actually have shirts in California. There were shirts. There were brown shirts that said "I pooped today." It's like, wow, great. Thanks for telling me. So yeah, just do that. That way I'll know who has shown up for any particular show, and because this would be great. We'll do this, and then the time, because now seems to be a good time, 3 or 4 o'clock on Eastern Standard Time. Oh, wow. Well, then I consider you a friend. And I'm glad you're subscribed because you'll get that bell tone or whatever, that bell. It's an alert. Yeah, you'll get an alert each time that I'm putting up a new video or making a live stream or doing a live stream. So yeah, I'm excited. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Because it's all about, let's be friends. Now it's showing two people. Now we'll make a thing out of this. Say, hey, did you see what was on Let's Be Friends? Or LBF. We'll call it LBF for people who like to use acronyms. Dude, did you catch LBF yesterday? He was showing his chain whip, or he was playing his flute, and he wasn't half bad. Practice, my friend. Practice when no one's watching. Because that way you can screw up all you want. When no one's watching, you can just play the worst music and then get better and better. And then you just show up somewhere no one's ever seen or heard of you. And then you just start playing your guitar. You start doing some really cool riffs. And then the girls just go, ah! The ladies! Watch the ladies lose their minds. And then you just bring out your fart noises. Bring on the fart noises. That's what we could do if nobody laughs at a joke, we could just start doing fart noises. Or, yeah. People usually laugh at a fart joke or a fart noise. Fart noises at the drive-thru. That's what we could do. That'll be my YouTube thing. Just drive up to like Arby's or Wendy's or Queen. Hi, can I help you? Hi, welcome to Arby's. Can I help you? Yeah, I already ate here. That's why I'm farting so much. Those sound like cartoon farts. It is from Despicable Me. This is not a paid advertisement, but I did get them from eBay. Despicable Me fart gun. It even has a pump on it. It's got a pump, and it's supposed to. It says pump for banana scent. So, but it doesn't make a banana scent. It's like I don't smell anything, and I don't see any way. Maybe I have to do a tutorial on how to add banana scent. You'd think there would be like a hole where you could add banana scent to it, but I think it's just something. Like if you're making a movie, nobody can smell anything. Just say, "Hey, there's your banana scent. Banana flavored farts." I've never known bananas to give farts. I know pizza, beans, and I think that's it. Pizza and beans make you fart if you eat enough of it. So I think I have to talk over the lawnmowers. People are lawn mowing. When they lawn mow, they use the gas-powered lawnmowers. Our neighbor has a lawnmower that's battery-powered. It's got these big-ass batteries that you pop in, and it does a good job. It mulches. There's nothing to rake after he uses that lawnmower. I'll have to ask him if I could borrow it. Say, hey, dude, he's let me borrow it before, which is kind of cool. Nice of him. When our lawnmower was broken down, he allowed us to borrow his lawnmower. But I think the only catch was I had to mow his yard also. We have very small yards and they are close together. And so we are 52 minutes in. And we have a nice cloud cover. I like this cloud cover. I will share it with you. The lovely Pirates of the Caribbean cloud cover. I like to just gaze at all the lovely cloud cover. And then there's a separation between the clouds and the blue sky. So you can hear the lawnmowers just mowing away. All right. We're back after gazing at the clouds. That sounds like a name, cloud gazing. Or Peter Gate. No, you don't want Peter gazing. I am the cloud gazer. I gaze at the clouds. And I tell you what I see. So we're left with 3 likes. And I noticed that my reception is slower, which means my battery power is getting weaker. So, the sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be song. When I'm faced with a day that's gray and lonely, I just pick up my chin and grin and say, tomorrow, tomorrow, there's always tomorrow. Oh wait, I left a verse out. I love you tomorrow. You're only a day away. I'll see you all tomorrow.